Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and this morning I do what I do every morning. I get up, I check Twitter to see if the Dragalia Lost account is tweeted, and today I was met with the words, a Gala Dragalia remix will start July 14th, which to me was a complete and utter shock, because I wasn't expecting this to be a Gala Dragalia at all, much less a Gala Dragalia remix, whatever that means. But I was surprised to see that, yes, this is going to be the banner where we get our summer units. So I'm going to play the little preview just for a second, just to show you guys some stuff that's in this trailer. And then we'll hop right into the news, going over what units are in it, the new units, and what units past galas are on focus. So let's jump right into it. New allies have arrived. Summer, Seaside Sparrow, Summer Patia. So, currently in this trailer, she doesn't have any voice. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Probably not. I put the volume down pretty low so that the music wouldn't play too loud. She doesn't have any voice right now, and that's due to COVID-19. So, if you're playing with the English audio of Dragalia Lost, the Japanese voice actor for her will play instead of the English one until at a later date it gets updated and we have the English VA. But here's Makoto's voice. The ocean's called. Makoto is in fact a light bow. So during the story, he said something along the lines of "my bow will set you free" or something like that. He was firing at the soldiers, and he said something about his bow. So that's how we got the hint that he was a bow unit, and then we got to know that he was going to be a light bow due to the fact that the event is shadow and light. But yes, at the end it says Gala Dragalia remix, and as you may have noticed in this trailer, there was no Gala unit shown. So we'll have to get into the unit preview and see if they preview any. So, a Gala Dragalia remix will start at 2 a.m. on July 15th, 2020. What are Gala Dragalia and Gala Dragalia remixes? The initial appearance rate for 5-star adventurers and dragons will be boosted to 6%, which is up from the standard 4%. If you get a 5-star or summon a featured 5-star, the appearance rate will return to the initial 6%. Note, the newly added adventures Summer Patia Shadow and Summer Makoto Light will also appear in the next Summon Showcase. Note, adventures and dragons added in past Dragalia Summon Showcases may appear in this Summon Showcase as well. For information of which adventures or dragons may appear, tap the Summon on the in-game footer menu, then select Appearance Rate and check the Appearance Rate section. So, what I think they're saying here isn't that certain units won't be on this banner at all. I think they're saying that some of the units below are just going to have a higher appearance rate as if it was a new gala. As if this was their gala, per se. And below are two units that people have been asking to have a rate up and asking to get for a long time. So let's see how that goes with this. But first, we're going to jump right into Summer Patia. The Summer Sparrow is in the top form. Fall in behind me. Alright. The vice captain of the White Sparrows in new beach attire. The great leg strength she cultivated through her work lets her race across white sandy beaches at top speed, so look out, because she's charging into summer at full speed. So she is a Shadow Axe. She's going to be competing with, currently going to be competing with Curran, for the most part. Her first skill, Sparrow's Splash, deals shadow damage to the target and nearby enemies and reduces their defense by 5% for 10 seconds. Pretty basic skill. Let's see modifiers and SP costs at a later date, but currently pretty good skill. Surfing Sparrows is her next skill, deals shadow damage to enemies in a line and inflicts poison. It is shareable and its shareable cost is 7. So that is something to note, that this is a 7 cost move to share. So I'm assuming that this modifier is going to be ginormous, and I'm assuming that the amount of damage she can do with this is going to be ginormous as well, because it's 7 cost. You think Eugene's Checkmate wasn't even that high of an SP cost, high of a shareable cost, so it's probably going to be a beefy skill. Kobody's defense was 15%, nothing new there. Her chain Kobody is HP below 40% equals strength plus 15. I believe this is the exact same one Curran has, so it's kind of interesting that they gave him the exact same Kobody and chain Kobody. Her first passive is called Sparrow's Spiker 2. Increases defense by 5% and grants the user a unique force strike that has 3 increasing powerful levels. Movement is possible while charging. Using Sparrow Slash grants the user Seaside Spirit effect. When this effect is active, the user's next force strike will inflict poison. This effect cannot be stacked and will be consumed on use. So what I'm expecting this to be is, in the story she had a special serve that she used in beach volleyball. So I'm thinking that this Force Strike might actually be her spiking the ball at people, and it's a ranged move that she can send at people, which for an axe unit, that's kind of crazy. I'm thinking she might even play a lot like Cerise, where she's just going to try to get these Force Strikes up and then do big damage with her skills on top of that. Her resistance is Paralyzed Resist, which is pretty basic. And then her final ability is Poison Edge and Anti-Poison equals Strength 2. This is a new phrase, Anti-Poison. Increases the chance of inflicting poison by 60% when the user's HP is above 50%. Increases the user's strength for 10 seconds every time the user tries to inflict poison on a foe, and the affliction is resisted. After activating this ability, will not activate for 5 seconds. So this second half of this is completely new to the game, as far as I know, and I think that it is actually a pretty good one for a poison inflicting unit. So many of the units in Shadow now inflict poison that a poison enabler isn't really needed anymore. But I think this allows her to be played in such a way where you can still bring her on a team, because she doesn't have any in-kit poison Punisher as far as I can tell. She just is really an enabler on the same tier as like Delphi or Vice or something like that. So she isn't going to be doing massive like poison damage. But I think this will help her, especially if she is the inflictor, that if you get to the point where you can't poison anymore, she is getting strength buffs instead. So that's pretty awesome, in my opinion. I think that's a really good change to the system as a whole. I wish they would just make this a passive ability, just in general. But she has it. And she also, as I was saying before, she does have poison on her Force Strike and on her skill too. So we'll have to see how good of a poison enabler she is. Next is Makoto. Blue waters and blazing sun are both a part of me. Makoto has found a slick swimsuit that helps him surf the waves. He continues to search for his beloved cat, Miyuchi, a journey that takes him to the beach and is said to have wade riding feelings. He's also taken up a bow to land fish for cat friends. Interesting. So I guess that's why he took up a bow, was to catch fish, I guess. I wasn't expecting him to be a bow since he has a surfboard. I was really hoping he would use the surfboard as his weapon, but we'll have to see. He is a interesting character, and you guys just saw a preview of the Gala character that's on this banner. He's an interesting character. So his first skill deals light damage to the target and nearby enemies and inflicts paralysis. When the user has illuminating sunlight and celestial wave light effects, the sun and sea abilities will make this skill deal more damage and deal extra damage to paralysis foes. That is a mouthful. And this has a 7 cost as well. So first basic skill inflicts paralysis. When it's powered up, it has paralysis Punisher and deals more damage. For right now. That's what I'm just going to say for right now. Moving on to his second skill. Increases user strength by 20% for 30 seconds. When the user has the illuminating sunlight and celestial wave light effects, the sun and sea abilities will make this skill also increase user's critical rate by 20% for 30 seconds and add a 15% modifier to critical damage for 30 seconds. Again, has a pretty good ability. Strength up for 30 seconds is not bad at all. And even better ability when powered up by these illuminating sunlight and celestial wave light effects. You might be saying, what the heck are those? We'll get into those in a second. Skill ability is skill haste plus 15%. Chain kill ability paralysis equals shadow resist. Pretty normal. Nothing good or bad about these inherently. They're pretty basic. So now we have the sun and sea effect. Here we go. Increases defense by 5% and grants the user a unique Force Strike, and also grants the sunlight effect for the first 12 seconds at the start of a quest. Using the Force Strike while the user has a sunlight effect will grant them illuminating sunlight effect, which will not stack. After the sunlight effect ends, the user will be granted wave light effect for 12 seconds. Using a Force Strike while the user has the wave light effect grants the user celestial wave light effect and will not stack. After the wave life ends, the user will be granted sunlight for 12 seconds again. If the user has both illuminating sunlight and celestial wave light effects, the radiant bolt and Magneti's Call, I don't know how you pronounce that, it's the second skill, will be powered up. Using either powered up skills will consume both the illuminating sunlight and celestial wave effects. Sunlight and wave lights are not extended by buff time abilities. So essentially what this means is that in the first 12 seconds of combat, he'll have the sunlight effect. If you land a Force Strike, you get the illuminating sunlight effect. Then after 12 seconds, it will switch to the moon. And if you use a Force Strike, you get the moon effect. And then once you have both, you can use both the buffs on one skill to make it even stronger. And it will switch back and forth every 12 seconds. So he'll be better in longer form content that's taking around, I mean, in current speedruns, even the fastest speedruns are taking like 40 seconds most of the time consistently. There are a few outliers with that, but that's generally what we see from most speedruns. He will even get these up at least once, and I think that especially in light, with how weak light is at the moment, he has potential to be a very, very strong unit, especially in things like an Agito fight if it goes longer, because he'll surely be able to make use of this first and second skill. I think this second skill, if it has both of the effects, is kind of insane. It's a huge, huge buff, and I think that will be really useful to him. And additionally, his first skill, which is going to come up faster, will get Paralyzed Punisher. So I think that's also pretty good. His resistance is Curse Res, and then he has another new ability called Paralysis Shredder 2. Increases the critical rate by 20%, adds a 15% modifier applied to critical damage against paralysis enemies. So if they're paralysis, you have even better crit rate, on top of getting another 20% crit rate already. That's pretty good. Or you do 15% more critical damage. That's pretty good. He has in kit Paralysis Punisher. All in all, I think he's actually a pretty solid unit, and I think she'll be alright as a Shadow unit. Shadow's really filled at the moment, but I think she has some things that make her really interesting. Just on these two alone, I would say if you really want the two of them, you should summon, but there's nothing really amazing about either of them that's like, yes, 100% summon. If this was a normal banner. But it's not. It's a Gala Dragalia remixed, which means Gala Cleo is on focus. So, if you do not have Gala Cleo, and she is currently with Gala Cat Sith on her dragon, the best unit in the game, I would say you should summon. Gala Cleo was a unit that came out about, I think, a little over a year ago. And she is a Shadow Wand. Her first skill is called Ancient Ray. It hits multiple times, and after it hits, your Force Strike turns into a buff zone, which is pretty ridiculous. It's called Magic Modification. It's done to this ability here. Her second skill is called Faith of the Elders. It debuffs enemies and does damage, and then it has Phase Shift, and if you keep using it, you'll eventually get regen, and you'll also be able to decrease the enemy's strength on Phase 2. Kind of insane. Code ability is shield damage, which is normal. Her chain code ability is HP plus 80% equals light res plus 6%. You're not getting Gala Cleo for this, you're getting Gala Cleo for literally everything else. She has Magical Modification, Perpetual Protection, and Skill Prep plus 100%. So she's immune to blindness and paralysis, as I already went over with Magical Modification. It changes this Ancient Ray so that after you use it, you get a Force Strike, which increases the strength of energies, and it increases the strength of adventures inside it by 25% for 10 seconds. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous, and this stacks up to 4 times, so you can have plus 100% if you have 4 Gala Cleos. Or, with the Shadow Agito weapons, you can stack this twice at least yourself, so you can get 50%. It's kind of ridiculous. 100% if you don't have Gala Cleo, I would summon. This is the best chance to get her. Assuming she's on raid up, I'm assuming she's on raid up because she's here. You can check the notice tomorrow if she's not, but I'm assuming because she's mentioned here, she's on raid up. So yeah. And then lastly, I just want to go over this. As I said in the video, due to COVID-19 preventive measures, the English voice actor for Summer Patia will be implemented at a later date. We are temporarily adding the Japanese voice to the English version of the game. Thank you for your patience, and please join the Japanese voice in the meantime. Alright. And then it jumps into Featured Dragon, and it talks about Gollum Mars. Gollum Mars came out about 3 months ago now, or was it? Yeah, just about 3 months ago. I think a little less than 3 months ago. He is a flame dragon. His first skill deals flame damage directly ahead and draws units towards the user and increases user strength by 20% per 20 seconds. It is possible to charge the skill gauge by attacking and use it up to twice during one shapeshift. insane ability, insanely strong. You can get a 40% buff just by being your dragon and doing your skill twice. It's pretty easy to get this charged up twice in one shapeshift. His abilities are Flame Strength 2 and 50% HP equals Strength plus 20. If the user is attuned in Flame, increases Strength by 70% and increases Strength by an additional 20% when their HP is above 50%. So at above 50%, you have a 90% Strength increase. For reference, the skill damage dragons have a 90% skill damage increase as a normal unit, and most strength dragons have a 60% as their base. The strongest permanent base dragon, I believe, is Fatalis, and I believe he has an 80% strength increase with the caveat that you can't shapeshift. So this is a 90% with literally no downside. And then ending shapeshift equals skill gauge plus 100%. If the user is attuned to flame, fills 100% of skill gauge when the user's shapeshift is undone. So on top of getting two 20% strength buffs, on top of getting 90% strength as a passive ability, after you shapeshift, you get your skills back fully. This is basically a late game Chocolatiers. So yeah, this dragon is completely bonkers. Nearly every single flame unit prefers him compared to other dragons. So yeah, just based on these two alone, I would 100% summon if you don't have either of them. And then going into these units both seem really solid, so they are also extremely good reasons to summon. Also, it's a Gala, which means that the rate for 5 stars is up even more. Even though I already have Cleo and I already have Gala Mars, I'm considering maybe just summoning for 1 5-star just to see what I get. But yeah, I would 100% summon on this banner if you don't have Cleo or Mars, and on top of that, I would summon on it if you really want Patia or Makoto. I can't really say in good faith, oh, we know that there will most likely be a Gala at the end of the month, or there'll be a Gala at 2nd anniversary anymore, because they seem to be dropping Galas randomly, and I can't say this Gala is better or worse than any other Gala, because we know how good Gala Cleo is. We don't know how good any other Gala unit might be, or any other Gala dragon might be. When these two, this unit and this dragon, are meta defining in the most gigantic way I've ever seen in this game. So yeah, it's a yes from me on this banner. If I'm being honest, it's a yes from me. Even though I have them again, I might even summon myself. That's going to be all it for me for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.